Usually it's jabroni talk in the middle of the day. I'm going to try something new. Can try and go live here in the fourth quarter while the Patriots are still going. Jermaine Wiggins, former Patriots tight end, Felger here. And you can join us on the comments down below. You can join us by hitting the fan line in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Join us like it's a talk radio show if you want. We'll take your calls. Right now, Patriots driving, leading 24-13, 12 and a half minutes left in the fourth. What do you think so far, Wig?
So far, so good. I actually just walked in from my kids' football game, so I've tried and doing the best to keep up with the thing. But I like this 24-13. We right in business. Door set. I like this.
So
Go ahead.
Nothing. Are you surprised by this?
No, I told you I wasn't surprised by this. I knew exactly what was going to happen. The Pats were going to do what they do. And like I said, I just walked in from my kids' game. I've been trying to keep tabs on the game. But am I surprised? No. No, not at all. This is what I knew that they were going to do, and I'm so happy that they're doing this where, everybody was worrying about this and they were worrying about that, and the Patriots, go out there. What I say? I think I said 24-17 for the score. So far, so good.
So to me, my impressions are the defenses look good. I think that, that's something you should feel good about if you're the Patriots. There were little inklings of that in the preseason. I think you're seeing it in this game. Offensively, I don't know. Brady to Gronkowski's there, so that's great. We knew that. That's really nothing new. And once Brady got into a rhythm, he started to open some other things up. So I don't know if the offense is better than you thought it would be or right where you thought it would be. They got 24 points here, about to add to it. 7 came on a real short field. Houston fumbles on the first fucking snap of the game. So that's another thing. The other thing is just, again, the continued ineptitude of the opponents. Deshaun Watson does not look ready to play this game, and Houston fumbles their first snap, and so it's more crappy football from the opponent as well.
Yeah, but I don't think we can use that as an excuse, right? It's whether it's a short field or not. It's what we've always heard. You can only play the teams that's in front of you. You can only play what your schedule is, and now there's no need to look for excuses. You're gonna score. It looks like they're gonna score or come away with at least 3 out of this. So right now you're at 27 points against a very good Houston defense. You're able to keep them to 13 points. I think it's too many excuses of, now it's going to be like Deshaun Watson's not this. But before this game, everybody was telling me he was the second coming of, damn Tom Brady, whatever it is.
Wiggy, have you watched?
I like I said, I haven't watched much because.
Okay, so what's the point? If you've watched the game, he's held on to the ball. He's been indecisive.
But that's the point.
Just really not ready to go.
So, Felger, that's my point. Whether I watched or not, right? The thing of it is this, and I've said this: we only had a small sample of Deshaun Watson, and at the end of the day, and this is what I was talking about before this game started. He has to show me something, and like I said, I've only been looking at my phone or whatnot, and so to me, I look at it like this. This is the way I look at it. I had hesitations about a guy who's coming off ACL and only had a small sample size, where I knew defensively you'd start scheming for him, and like you said, you've seen more than I've seen, and he's holding on to the ball. That means that's telling me defensively they're confusing him, and that's what the Pats got to do. I hate that play on. And
you've seen this a lot from Patterson. They must have reversed it to Patterson. I don't know, 3 or 4 times in this game. He's broken a couple. He's broken a couple off, but that's really.
I don't like it on third and long or whatever it is.
Oh, well, they're just setting up 3 points there. Right. But the holding the ball. To me, and it's really hard to tell in the TV copy, but it feels like the coverage has been there, and that's been a big thing. So holding the ball.
Have you saw a lot of man zone?
Yeah, I'd say that I've seen a ton of Gilmore on Hopkins. So it feels to be more man zone, but on the TV copy, Wig, it's sort of hard for me to see that. All I can tell is that his first read is not there. His first read is not there, and he's patting the ball, and then he gets really indecisive. So I think that's good news for the Patriots. It's not all Watson. I don't mean to make it like that. It feels like the coverage is there as well.
And I think see, this is I don't want people to fall into the narrative being of Deshaun Watson played like shit, and
did.
you know, I know he did. Right, but defensively, you have that's something that you the reason why is because
don't be so sensitive. Both are true. The Pats defense looks better, but Watson wasn't ready.
But doesn't that so? See, this is where I get frustrated, right?
Well, you get sensitive.
Well, that's what it's called? Sensitive, frustrated, because it's like if Deshaun Watson doesn't play that good, it's not because the defense did a good job. It's because he's not a good quarterback and the defense played okay. Or if
I'm going to stop you. I mean, the fumble on the first play of the game, the defense didn't do anything. They were just standing there.
I know that. I was listening to that on that play. But and
then there was a fourth quarter here. In the third or fourth quarter, they go for it on 4th and 5 in the Patriots red zone. He's got his 84, whatever, that's his tight end or his receiver, cutting wide open across the middle, and he chucks it 2 yards behind him. And the defense gave up a wide open, what should have been a score, and he just chucked it behind him. So, I mean, there's a lot of plays Houston did not make that the defense had really nothing to do with. And so, you know, Sean in the comments says, how early before we can declare the rest of the AFC tomato cans? Houston was supposed to be one of the competitive teams, and maybe they will be by the end of the year, but they're not ready. They're not ready to be that team right now.
But didn't we say that, though? Like, I know we've done Jabroni talk for a while now, but didn't we say that the Pats are clearly the best team in the AFC? Haven't we said that? I mean, I've been saying that there's not a team I don't think that can challenge them in the AFC. And you talk about Houston was supposed to be one of those teams. They're the same Houston team that we always see when they come to New England. They just can't get the job done. Whether or not that's Deshaun Watson not hitting guys running open, hey, that's whatever it may be, whether it's the pressure of the moment, whether it's just, you know, knowing who's on the other sideline. I've said this before.
Not being very good. You could add that to those.
Well, then, so is Deshaun Watson? Maybe he's not that quarterback. I think, and that's why I said, hey, listen, I'm not going to write this guy in yet. He played in 6 games last year. He's coming off an ACL. I need to see more. It's the same way I said with Jimmy Garoppolo. And how are they doing?
They are losing in Minnesota. They're losing by, I don't know, 2 touchdowns, it feels like, going into the fourth quarter. Impossible to follow that game. I know right. San Fran fumbled on the 1 yard line on one of their possessions, so I think that put him behind there as well. There's been a couple of test cases here out there for the new catch rule. The Patriots get away with one to Rob Gronkowski that, I don't know, Bill O'Brien, the overrated Bill O'Brien, doesn't stop the clock, doesn't call timeout, and the refs don't buzz it in time. I would have been really curious to see what they would have ruled on that Gronkowski play down the middle, because they've loosened up the catch rule, and now more things that weren't catches are going to be catches. And I'm just curious what they would have ruled on that. Hopkins had one a few plays later that they let stand that rolled around on the ground a little bit. So they're allowing more catches than they used to. Do you like that, Wiggy, overall? And you know, for lack of a better term, it's just they've broadened it. More things are going to be allowed catches.
Well, you know, like I said, I do, but there was the Atlanta game where Julio Jones made a catch on the sideline and they called it no catch. So, you know, if it's clearly better from what you're telling me, that's all I want. I want the guy to just, you know, for that rule. I didn't like them changing it anyways. I thought the catch rule last year was perfect. I think this new rule, it kind of, some of those things are not catches, in my opinion. The new rule, I like the old rule, survive the ground. Show me that you can make the catch.
Okay, so what you're going to see right here, Wiggy, again, Pats leading 27-13 with 9 minutes left. Houston's last drive, they just went right down the field, scored a touchdown. Watson looked good. Mm-hmm. They might do it again. I consider these plastic yards and sort of a plastic drive. That's a Paul Perillo term. It's like the Pats aren't quite in prevent, but I don't feel like the game is really in doubt. It's not really competitive, and the Pats loosen up, and the next thing you know, Houston starts moving the ball. So their numbers at the end might look okay, and Watson might make some plays here.
Nice.
Or not. So there it is again. He's been doing that all game, holding the ball. But,
you know,
to me, this has been pretty much a non-competitive game from the start.
You know what this is? Like at the end, it's like you said. It's like, hey, we're in prevent. We're not going to give up anything deep to put them back in the game, make them have to eat up clock, make them have to go to length of the field. When we get in the red zone, we tighten up the screws. And then it's like now that it took them, you know, 3-4 minutes to get down there. And if they ultimately come away with a touchdown, we still got enough cushion where we'll get the ball back. But that's what this is when you get to it. And you're able to get –
How about that hold? You see that hold? How about 70 right there? Like what? How do you ever think for a million years you're going to get away with that?
That's just because some players are just pure out horrible.
Like right there, the Patriots coverage had to be good. You know, he got it. He makes it. He makes the play on the sidelines, but
2nd and 17. You know, we'll give that.
There's nothing there.
We'll take that.
So I feel like the coverage has been good all game. When you asked me before, man or zone, why is that important to you?
Well, I'd like to know. I'd like to know if they're doing a lot more man stuff, because I like them in man. I think they're a better defensive man. You know, Gilmore doesn't have to think about a lot of stuff. He can just lock in on a guy, and then up front, hey, we just got to get after it.
So Houston's hit this play a couple of times. These wide receiver screen to Hopkins. I don't know if it meant to go all the way across there, but so there you are. Houston's got to go for it. There are a couple of plays here. You know who I'm totally not into is Bill O'Brien. Was Bill O'Brien here when you were there, Wiggy?
No, he wasn't here when I was there. The thing I said, but I've said this about Billy O'Brien before. He's a good offensive coordinator, but even at times, you remember there was that 7-minute drive to nowhere against the Jets in the playoffs. You look at these
punting. How could you punt here?
4th and 9. I have no idea. You got to go for it.
They're on 14 points. What, are they going to stop Brady now? Twice? They're going to stop Brady twice.
Well, the thing I was getting ready to say about Billy O, right? It's a lot of these coaches when they get across from Belichick. We've seen it with Tomlin. We've seen it like just in that situation right there. You're down by 2 scores. There's 7 minutes and some change on the clock, right? You need touchdowns. You can't give the ball back to Brady. All right, it's at midfield, but we got to make play. Now if Brady goes out there and eats up, 2.5, 3 minutes, it still doesn't matter. When you get the ball back, you're going to be at like 4 minutes. Now you have to score 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes. It's a lot of these coaches, when they get against Brady and Bill and they see him on the other sideline, their bum hole, it just goes, tightens up so much where you see dumb things like this. And I've said that about Billy Brown. I think he's a good coach, good offensive coordinator, but they're good coaches against everybody else. When you play against the Pats, a lot of these coaches are overrated in my opinion because they do dumb things.
So Connor in the comments says offensive line looks really solid against that D-line though, right, Felger? I think absolutely is the case. As we've gone here in the last couple of series, I've seen J.J. Watt a little bit more get in there, but for the most part, and Brady did have an interception in the first half where the ball was deflected, and I think Shaq Mason didn't quite get his guy. So it's not like it's been 1,000% perfect, but for the most part, up until the later stages of this game, you saw very little of Clowney, Merciless, Watt, nothing of Watt. Right. And so I think the offensive line did have an excellent day so far.
And they, like I said, they play well. But don't you notice that for the most part, when the Pats play against J.J. Watt, they do a good job of scheming him up. They do a good job of those pass rushes, whether it's getting the ball out quick, whatever it may be, but scheming it up where you're not really seeing J.J. Watt dominate. Now he's not the same player that he used to be, but I think the Pats do a good job, especially against the Texans, scheming up, and that comes down to coaches. Where if I'm the defensive coordinator and I got these horses on the other side, I got to do a better job of scheming up so I can put pressure on Brady.
Let's grab a call on the fan line. Again, you folks out there can join us. Hit that icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. You join us like this is the talk radio show, except we get to see your face. There's only one rule, and that's you're not allowed to show us your Hogan. If you do, there's someone standing by to drop you so we don't have to look at your junk. Here's Anthony. What do you got, Anthony?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
What's up, Ant?
What's the question?
Man. Very simply, Tom Brady does it year in and year out, and they're waiting every year. Everybody says, waiting for his decline. He does it year in, year out. Doesn't matter who's there. It's Gronk, Amendola, Hogan, White, you name it. The guy just wins. Unbelievable. I draft him every season on my fantasy team, and it amazes me that people allow me to do it.
Okay, great to hear. Thank you, Anthony. I'm so interested to know who's on your fantasy team. That's really what I wanted to know. Brady hasn't proven anything today. No one's proven anything today. You're getting it over a mediocre team at home. What does that mean? He can still throw the ball. He can still throw the ball to Gronkowski. Neat. You know, you're right. He does not need to go to OTAs for that, to just chuck it up to Gronk. He does not need to do that. Boy, what did J.J. Watt just jump off sides there? Did you see that?
There's speaking of J.J. Watt, there he is.
He was a half step off sides.
Well, they didn't. But they didn't call it though.
So Waddle has no chance. I told you, Watt started to show up late in the game. He was a non-factor in the first half, and that was off. That was cheating. That was off.
Sometimes those officials miss the cheating element of it.
Sean in the comments says over/under number of Pats games competitive in the fourth quarter this season. I'm hoping for more. You know, I'm a little bit more of a neutral observer than you folks. I do like to see competitive, good football, and there's just so many weeks where these Patriots games, if you're coming out from my perspective, are kind of throwaways. If you're a fan, I understand the blowouts are fun, but I still think there's going to be a lot of garbage because there's a lot of garbage out there.
So let me ask you this something, Felger. So by watching this game and Houston being one of these teams, are you willing to write the Pats into the Super Bowl this year? Because I don't think
no. I mean, you're one of the favorites. You'll be right there.
So who do you think tests them in the AFC?
I can't predict it. Some bum team is going to break through and be decent like Jacksonville was last year. So, I mean, I don't know. It could be any number of – nothing would surprise me in that stupid league. You know, maybe it's the Chargers this year. Maybe it's the Colts this year. Maybe it's – Pittsburgh should be there.
I don't trust Pittsburgh at all.
I know, but I don't trust Pittsburgh either. Same thing. I don't trust them. I expect Pittsburgh to get at home and do a big game and lose in the playoffs. That's what I expect them to do. So, maybe, I don't know, maybe Denver surprises us if Keenum can play. Like, I don't know, some shitty team is going to emerge, and they'll be there at the end. And, to me, it's more about the Patriots. I just want to see Brady hold up all year without putting in the same amount of work and being given these crappy receivers. And that's pretty much it. I want to see the defense continue to improve. And if they do it, great. Then they should go because the competition really isn't there. But I'm not convinced on the Pats yet.
You want a sizzling hot take for you?
Of course.
Jacksonville won't even make the playoffs this year.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
To me, they were like the Oakland Raiders of a couple years ago. David Carr had a great year. Everybody was talking, got all that money. Everybody's talking about the Raiders. The next year, they were shit. That's the way I feel about the Jacksonville team. Now, obviously, I'm not watching the game or whatnot, but I'm just looking here and 20-15 against the Giants, and the Giants are horrible. So I don't know what's going on in that Jacksonville game, but I don't see a team in the AFC testing the Patriots. I really don't. I know you think some team will sneak up, but I need to know who the hell that team is because I don't see it.
Exactly. Bob in the comments says, where does that Bill O'Brien decision rank in terms of plays in the game that, not punting? Where does that rank in terms of dumb plays? I've seen O'Brien do it before. Him coming, as you said, in his sphincter, tightens right up. So, to me, the biggest thing for O'Brien was not challenging that Gronkowski plan. And I know you can't challenge inside 2 minutes, but you can call timeout. Houston had all 3 timeouts, and the Gronkowski play, the ball's clearly rolling around on the ground. I think, I don't know, it's definitely worth a look. And Bill O'Brien could have called a timeout to stop the game, to get the ref to wake up and, hit the buzzer upstairs. And Bill O'Brien didn't do it. I think Bill O'Brien is so overrated. So many people talk about him as the next thing, and I just don't see it.
There's a lot of coaches like that. Listen, I just came from coaching my son's youth football team, his 8th grade team, and I'm better than 99% of these coaches in the league when I see some of the things that they do. Like, for example, why are you punting? Because what I say, you eat up a few minutes on the clock, you get the ball back now at 5:17. Take the chance. You're still down by 2 scores. They should have went for it on their last possession. Now it's like, now your foot's on the gas. So now you have to push everything here because time is not on your side.
Okay, so let's see what Watson does here. Hold the ball, chuck it in the turf.
Good coverage.
Israel in the comments says defense better than expected. I don't know. I was hopeful that the defense was going to be better. So, probably better than I expected, but I thought they had a shot to be better just looking at the personnel in the preseason.
But it's got to be better because think about how the Pats looked last year, opening day.
Hold on. He didn't say better than last. Of course, better than last year. Of course, no question. I expected it to be a little bit better than last year. It should be. Yeah, let's hand off. Let's hand off.
Okay. You're down by 14 with 5 minutes to go. It's second and long. It's
so
second
painful
and 10.
to watch.
Why not run off tackle? I love it.
It's so bad, you know. And the clock, it's even north of that 5-minute mark, so the clock doesn't even stop on that play.
Right. I love it. But that's why I said I don't see a team challenging the Patriots in the AFC. I think the Pats roll to the Super Bowl this year. Roll. Look, they just put up Ben Roethlisberger's line. 3 interceptions. I got to see the score of that game.
Against Cleveland.
Right. Good defense. Good D.
Who's 31?
4th and 8.
Who's 31, Wig?
That's Joe.
Jones. There you go. You got to get to know these guys. You got to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know these guys. Listen, you don't know them until the start of the regular season. 21-7, huh? Against the Browns, and he threw 3 interceptions. I wish I saw that game.
Jonathan Jones, again, he's been hanging around the last couple of years, showing glimpses the last couple of years, so he's punting again.
Yeah.
Punting again, maybe.
And what's his face? Tony Romo said he'd be going for it, which you got to be.
Near midfield.
Oh,
how do you fumble that?
Whoo, they got it back, though.
Comes right back to him.
They got it
Comes
back.
right back to him. Oh, no. I think Houston might have that, Wig. I mean, I don't think he didn't have it when the play started, but he went and got it. Yeah, they gave it to Houston. How about that fucking shit? Riley McCarron.
Why is he back returning?
Okay, so I was going to ask you, in that situation, 4.5 minutes left in the game, who's your, Riley McCarron, your borderline practice squad guy? Should that be the one in there?
No, you just got him off the street. There's no way.
Yeah, that's a clean fumble recovery. You got it.
Back there. I've seen Patrick Chung field punts in this situation before. It's not a return situation. It's just a fair catch situation. That's what this situation is.
So who's the guy who should be back there? Should be Hogan?
I'd say you could. No, you put Patrick Chung. I've seen Patrick Chung do that before. I've seen him be back in those situations. Put him back there. Now you got to tighten up here.
Well, this would be ridiculous if that mistake turns this into a game. Hand off.
That's it. That's it.
Grab Andrew from Lowell is on the fan line. He wants to join us here again on Fourth Quarter Live with Felger and Wiggins. Andrew and Lowell, go ahead. What do you got for us?
Today that Watson there has been throwing the ball behind his receivers a lot today. They're in this game if he can throw them ahead of the receivers. There's that 4th down touchdown play earlier in the game. He threw it behind the guy. That couple plays ago, he just threw it behind the guy again. If he's throwing it in front of his receivers, he doesn't have this rust anymore.
Keep him in front. Keep him in flag down.
Hey, Andrew, I'm with you. There were plays that weren't covered that Watson just couldn't get the ball there.
Yeah.
So, the defense looks better, but I'd like to see him against a little bit more accurate of a quarterback before we can make that final decision.
But wasn't everybody talking about Deshaun Watson and being the guy at the beginning of this season?
Yeah, but
I mean, didn't everybody have him like, oh, he's one of them top 10 quarterbacks? He's one of those guys. I mean,
people were wrong. He's not ready.
So I mean, you look at their schedule, right? Let me look at their schedule. And next week you got Blake Bortles.
Who, the Patriots? Yeah. Oh yeah. There's not enough good quarterbacks to test them.
So I mean, that's where I feel like people are like, when they start looking at it, So you got Blake Bortles, and then after that, you got Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford's probably the best quarterback you're going to see in the first 4 or 5. I mean, Jesus, looking at their schedule until they see Aaron Rodgers November 4th. So, I just don't buy. It's like people always want. They always want to. You're notorious for this, Felger. What they call holding on the defense.
Yeah, I guess they did.
Like people always want to kind of move the goalposts. Like now, Deshaun Watson he's not a good quarterback. Before the season, everybody told me, oh, he's the face of the league moving forward. But now because he doesn't have a good game and receivers are open now, you know what? He's really not a good quarterback.
So they got We got to figure out what happened on that penalty. They originally called it on Houston, then called it on the Patriots, and Belichick just blew a gasket.
I think they called holding on the Patriots when Deshaun Watson broke the pocket. I think they called holding on one of the defensive backs.
Yeah.
And then they jump off sides.
Of course. Wiggy, are you a little bit behind? Make sure your TV's on live, because I don't want. I feel like I always feel like I'm one step ahead of you, but now I like legitimately feel like I'm one step ahead of you.
On live, man. I'm hitting the remote.
All right.
You could be. You know, Wellesley. You guys. You got more money over there.
Well, yeah, they give white people faster coverage. I don't know if you knew that.
Come on. You can't
one
have
of the perks.
that. See, like, you can't have that. You had him in the pocket for a sack. You can't have that.
Is that the defense's fault?
Yes.
I don't really think that is. Like, what are you going to fucking do? What are you going to do there? The guy can run.
Yeah,
the guy can run.
Yeah, but you got him in there. You got to know in this situation that, okay, he can run. So maybe I don't push the edge so high, knowing that, hey, let him he's struggling to throw the football. Keep him in front of you.
Owen in the comments said that Patterson should have been back there returning punts. Did Cordell Patterson have returned punts in Minnesota?
He was a kickoff guy. Come on. Watch. Keep him in front of you. See? There you go.
Bounced it.
But that's because
That's because of the defense? That he threw a 2 feet in front of him?
But no, what I'm saying, the defense put pressure on him, made him have to get outside the pocket, but he couldn't scramble and run. He had to run laterally, so you keep him as a passer.
So what do you bet here that Pat stop him? 2 straight plays.
Question is this here. Do they stop him and O'Brien kick a field goal?
He might. He might, the asshole.
I would love to see that. Come on.
If you're Houston, aren't you calling quarterback draws the whole time?
Well, that's if the other Pats keep it in front of it. There you go. Let's see if he kicks the field goal. Do it, Billy. He'll go field goal onside kick.
27-16 is 11. 2 possession. Oh, they're going to call Pats for holding?
Yep.
Gilmore again.
Come on. Let me see.
Totally away from the play, but he's all over him.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? That's where he was looking first. That's a good call. It's a good call. All right, now they're scoring. Now they
watch the quarterback sneak.
Obviously.
I saw that coming. 4 guys out to the right.
Well, I said it the play before. I would be doing it every play with that guy.
No, 4 guys lined up all the way outside with 1 guy stacked behind it. And then, come on, like. Good. Remember what I just said a few plays earlier as a pass rusher. Don't think to go high. Just keep him in front of you.
How about a pick here? Would not surprise me one bit. This dingbat throws it up for grabs.
Well, think about how much time they burnt when they got the ball on that muffed punt. If you got
touchdown.
Yeah. Well, 2:08. So now you got your hands team.
Now they kick away.
Yeah,
you absolutely kick away north of the 2-minute warning. You kick it out of the back of the end zone. So then you have the 2-minute warning, and you have 3 timeouts. If you stop them 3 and out, you get the ball back with 1 timeout. It's a no-brainer.
They have all 3.
They have all 3.
Okay.
Wiggy, if you were watching the game, I would have had a bunch of stuff to get to you with, but you didn't see it, so I can't ask you.
Yeah, well, yeah, my kid had a football game today.
Screw your kid's football game.
Huh?
Screw your kid's football game. It's fan cred.
I'm the head coach.
So?
I'm the head coach, buddy. Hey, listen, I can't help that you got.
No. Just take Brady's lead, dude. It's about family time now. You know.
I can't help it.
You are taking Brady's lead. I get it.
I can't help you got all girls in your household.
I'm taking my little one to a lacrosse game right now. fella.
See?
But fan cred comes first.
They need to pay me more money.
Boy, the catch rule. To me, the catch rule. So there's a sequence there where Gronkowski with that ball deep over the middle. I think that's incomplete, but I would have loved to have seen them go to the booth because I want to know exactly how they're going to call that this year. If they allow that Gronkowski catch, they might be allowing that Gronkowski catch this year. Go back and look at it, Wig. I mean, for the last 20 years, that was incomplete.
I'm going to check it out. I'll check it out.
If they onside kick this, they're fucking idiots. You blast it out of the back of the end zone, you numbskulls.
Let's see.
No, if it's out of the back of the end zone, no time comes off the clock, and you have 4 timeouts. Yeah, he's kicking it away. Yeah, obviously.
Let's see.
So, but there was a play right after that Gronkowski non-catch where Burke had fumbled on just a vicious textbook lead with the helmet hit. And no one even said anything. And it's like the thing we've been spending all summer talking about, these, leading with the head. And it was just the
I'm watching it now.
Yeah. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Anyway, Wiggy, hold on. First do this. What do you do here? Do you throw it or do you run? Because they have to throw it.
You run it. You run it. You hope you pop something. You hope you can pop something. You run. You make them. You 2-minute warning. I'm looking at this catch.
Hey, what do you guys want to listen to? Oh, hip hop. Yeah. What about Bubble Trans? Bubble Trans.
See, you know what the problem is with this Gronkowski catch, right? It's because of the new rule, right? The ball doesn't come out.
I mean, to me, that's not complete. But they're doing this whole thing where they're just going to allow more catches and more things to be catches.
But what I'm saying, because of last year, the rule that I liked last year, you had to survive the ground. That's incomplete last year.
Oh, no, I know. I agree with you. I think it should be. But now it's no longer having to survive the ground. So as he's going there, he's got it pinned to his shoulder. Is that enough?
Right, that's enough. And the reason when the ball comes out in the replay, the ball comes out because the defender yanks it out. But once you're down on the ground, like that, it's too late. You're already touched. So that's not a fumble or anything like that. He has it pinned to his ear. It's not really moving. That's the new rule that they put into place. Is the ball can move a little bit as long as you show possession of it. That's why Felger, I like the rule from last year, because last year there's no question.
Agreed.
No catch.
Agreed. Now it's going to be so much more complicated this year. Trust me on that. Derek in the comments says Patriots are about to run it 2 more times in a row. So Wiggy, do you run it 2 more times and make O'Brien kill his timeout? So, let's say it's 3rd and 8. You run it both times?
Yeah, I think the reason why you run it is because of the way Deshaun Watson's been playing. You run it, make him burn both of his timeouts. Now you got to put Deshaun Watson, in a situation where he needs a touchdown to tie the game up. So now he has to go. He has to make everything. He's in a 2-minute situation, but 2 minutes to score a touchdown.
Okay, I'll make a prediction here. They'll throw it on 3rd down if they get in that spot.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, that would be dumb.
I've seen it a bunch. 1st down ends the game, and it's over.
Right, 1st down ends the game, but why run the risk of having an interception, whatever it may be?
Watch it. This is a run here. Then you'll see a pass on 3rd down, depending what it is.
If they pass it on 3rd down, wouldn't you be saying that's a dumb play? If that was O'Brien,
not at all. It's never a dumb play to give Tom Brady the ball. What are you, crazy?
Yeah, but I think it's more about the situation. Well, they passed it on
4 so suck it, Wig. I told you.
You were right.
I thought it would be 3rd down, but they're not afraid to throw it in these situations. Boom! Look how smart that is. Burkhead knows. Devlin knows to stay in bounds. That's beautiful.
Hey, Felger, I got to give it to you. You're in the wrong field. You should be coaching in that.
Yeah, damn right I should be. I'll coach these other teams. Get more out of them. And I'll tell you what, they'll do it again if he feels it's right. I've seen it a bunch.
And then what's crazy, what makes it even worse is the pass is completed to the fullback.
And the fullback still knows to stay in bounds. You know, the fullback still knows exactly what to do.
And after the sticks, ball game over. Ball game over. I gotta give you credit, Felger.
Okay, baby.
I would have ran it. I would have ran it both times.
They're not afraid. That's why they're the Patriots. One of the reasons they're the Patriots. They're not afraid.
That is true.
So I got a couple more plays, and then I got 6-year-old girls lacrosse. You want to see something that's fun? 6-year-old girls lacrosse. Try that on for size, Wiggy.
No, I'm good. Just hold on to the football.
Just don't fumble the ball, you idiot.
That's it. So second down. So do you throw it again then? Because you're going to be in a situation. It's going to be third down.
Did they have one more timeout?
Yeah, they have one more timeout.
They'll throw it.
Pats will run it. Well, 2nd and 9 here. Who knows what they do? But either way, after this down, Houston will use their last timeout.
All I'm saying is they're not afraid to throw in this situation. They'll throw. And
right.
they should.
But I don't
trust. If you don't trust Brady to take care of the ball, then what are you doing?
Well, I don't think you throw in this situation here is because they only got one timeout. So if it's an incomplete pass, that stops the clock.
Well, so they can't stop it for the next 2. So really,
you run.
For the next 2. No, yeah, it's probably going to be run.
Because they'll use their timeout. They'll use their timeout now.
Okay, so they have one timeout. I'm sorry.
Yep, they have the one left.
Yeah, Wiggy, they're going to throw it on this third down right here.
You think they'll throw it on third down?
Yep.
Why would they throw it? The Houston has no timeouts. Run the ball. Run the ball.
You're right.
Eat up the 40 seconds.
I should quit while I'm ahead. I called that first one.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Romo's saying they should throw the ball too, so who knows? 3rd and 2, just run it. Because even if you don't get it, it's going to be under a minute because you'll let the clock run, and then you punt it, and then they're going to have to go – you pin them in, they're going to have to go 80 yards or whatever it may be. Run the ball. Don't throw it. So let it run. 40 seconds.
Tessa, get ready. We're going soon.
He almost broke it, too. He almost was able to get out of there. He tripped over his fullback's legs.
In a minute.
Yeah, let it run. Yeah, let it run down under a minute, and he's gonna have to go. Let it go all the way down. Take the delay game. Take the delay game. Take the delay game. No, I'll use the timeout either way.
Did you kick it out of bounds here, Wig?
No, you kick it in bounds. Hopefully,
Okay.
Hopefully, the guy's an idiot and catches it inside the 5-yard line.
Do your stuff? Do your goggles? Mm-hmm. Your mouth guard? Mm-hmm. Your stick?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up? Who's that in the background?
That's Tess. That's Wiggy.
At least she got her looks from her mama.
No question. No question. We need this stupid game to end.
This game will be over in what's her name? Tess?
Yes.
Tessa, the game will be over in 51 seconds. Might even be over before that. I feel an interception coming. Punt it.
Snap the frickin' wall. Jesus.
There you go. Nice punt. Get down there. Failed it. Perfect.
You know what? I'm not staying to watch this. This is an interception over the middle. Deron Harmon will intercept the ball to end the game. There's my prediction. I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later, okay?
Later, fella.
Bye.